What's going on YouTube? The J-Man here. I'm bringing you just a different video, I guess. I'm going to go over, I know if you've been watching World of War or Wargaming or World of Tanks or anything news-wise, most of you maybe know what's going on, some of you don't. And so what happened was earlier last week, I believe, a couple days ago, SirFoch created a video or review. It's like 2 minutes long video, basically him ranting on the power creep or this overpowered tank in World of Gaming PC or World of Tanks PC, and it didn't go well. Apparently Wargaming took offense to it and they threatened a copyright strike for him to take down the video. So obviously they forced his hand. He put the video down, but I think the way they did it was completely heavy-handed, and they shouldn't have done what they did. With that, I believe Wargaming put out another statement apologizing, saying they shouldn't have threatened copyright strike. They would never do that. They would never do that to their community members, and supposedly that was the end of it. But apparently today, Kotaku has reached out, and Wargaming North America has said something completely different. So, let's see. Give me 1 second. I should have had this up. Wargaming North America has put out a statement saying that sorry, bear with me, here we go. We are more than willing to give members of our community second chances. I'm assuming they're talking about SirFoch, but there's level toxicity and or offensive language that is unacceptable. Did he go overboard with offensive language? Probably. We regret having to such extreme measures in SirFoch's case, but we also don't consider those measures to be censorship because we weren't trying to silence SirFoch's opinion. We were simply seeking to curb the extreme profane language of a member of our contributor program. Yeah, so that's completely fine. I think he went a little overboard. He went a little too emotional in criticizing, or the way he criticized Wargaming's newest tank. SirFoch's latest claim that we're somehow prohibiting him from making future videos involving our games is completely false. He's more than welcome to make more Wargaming related videos. If those videos continue to include hate speech and homophobic slurs, we'll take the necessary and appropriate action. So, first off, the last sentence is what I think irked me the most. I watched the video. I think a lot of people have. There was no hate speech whatsoever. No homophobic slurs whatsoever. And they're basically saying that. So I don't know what they're considering hate speech other than the profane language. If you're using the F-bomb way too many times, I don't feel like that's hate speech. But coming from a North America side of the company, that doesn't surprise me that they're considering a lot of things hate speech nowadays. And if they considering that hate speech, what else would they consider hate speech? And I think this is where I think this is where a lot of people get angry, they get frustrated, they get fearful of, well, am I going to be taken down? Are they going to copyright strike me? They're going to do something to take my channel down? And I think Wargaming North America made a mistake, and they're using such a broad term for hate speech apparently, because earlier in that statement they had said SirFoch used profane language, offensive language, and then if he continues to use such and such language, hate speech, homophobic slurs, they will take the appropriate action. So I think they're using that in a broad sense, which one should never use a broad term, because hate speech for one person, hate speech for somebody else. And saying just hate speech is that saying, saying these words will not be tolerated. These specific words are not going to be tolerated. This intent should not be tolerated. And even then, intent can be different depending on what's going on. Some people have a persona where it seems like they're angry or hate people all the time. That's just a persona that they use in making YouTube videos. I feel that censoring people on just trying to find an identity, create an identity, whether or not it's a real identity or not, kind of like Boogie's Francis character isn't really person isn't really him. It's a character he's created who is just super offensive in that manner. Um, and I feel like this is just another thing, another company doing policing that's just too broad in a sense, just kind of like how YouTube is trying to censor certain things that people say, certain videos and whatnot. Well, they're saying they're not censoring, but come on, there's certain things that they are, certain things that are not. And they say they're trying to fix it, but who knows, a company can say whatever they want to in order to make sure that their publicity stays in good lights. So yeah, that's if you look at that statement, you can take it a lot of ways, and I'm taking it as a way that Wargaming is going to use this broad brush of what they deem offensive, what they deem hate speech, and apply it as needed, how they feel like it's needed, and that's not okay. I think that if you're going to be making these statements, if you're going to be policing people's words, that you should be more specific in what kind of language you're specifically looking for, instead of just trying to say this wide broad of things. Because like I said, hate speech apparently to them is profane language, or extremely profane language is hate speech. So if somebody's saying the F-bombs too many times, they could be in regards to Wargaming video, which is insane, but whatever. I personally don't try to use that language, and that's just me. I'm trying to build my identity as a YouTuber, and my identity, or my type of videos and my content, is going to be mine, and I'm not going to try to use that language at all. Does it come out when I'm playing live, or if I'm streaming, or if I'm, recording myself live? Absolutely. I get emotional. I say things off the cuff. Is it right that I should say it? No, not necessarily, but it's human nature to just get emotional and stuff like that. But I think that, and then if you're somebody who's just using that profane language and that's just the way you speak, and that's perfectly fine. I think you're going to be you be you, and I think that's the whole point of YouTube is YouTube. You make yourself, you create your own identity, and this whole aspect of censorship and taking away and heavy-handed how do you say it, policies is just insane. I think people are going to get driven away from creating content and sharing this game with people, or the games that you create with people, when you do something like that. So I think Wargaming completely messed up, and hopefully they change something. I doubt it, because that's just the way some companies are, and in North America, most companies, once they make a statement like that, they're not going to change it, and that's perfectly fine on them if they want to continue to be that way. They just have to be aware that when they make statements like that, they're going to alienate a lot of their community and people that are going to contribute to that community. But that's just my 2 cents on this whole thing. I know it kind of went a little long, and if you stay with the video, awesome. If you don't agree with what I say, that's fine. If you do agree with what I say, that's fine too. People are going to have their opinions on this whole thing, and opinions are going to differ, and that's a good thing. The fact that people can have their own opinions and then open to discussion is fantastic. I think that should continue. But it's as soon as you have differing opinions and the line of communication just shut off both ways, or even one way, I think that's when people start getting into trouble. So like I said, that's my 2 cents on it. I wasn't planning on making a video, but I did now. Take it or leave it as is. So yeah, that's all I got to say about it, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.